Okay, guys. So what happens as interest rates come down, which is the direction that we will eventually be going as inflation comes down? Home prices go up. Why? Well, because we have low inventory. We don't even have enough houses to be able to sustain the amount of people that need housing. So when we have low inventory and we have rates come down, which means more people are in the market, it drives prices up. So what does this mean? Well, we need to be prepared for what that means if you're looking to purchase a home. Now, if you're going to be putting in offers, you may have to put in an offer over what the home is worth. And you may be concerned and say, Kristen, does this make sense? Well, that's why you need to make sure we look and see, does it make sense for you to put in an offer over asking in order to get that offer accepted? So let's look at the numbers. Okay, guys, so check this out. If you're putting in an offer, let's say 575,000, and let's just assume you're putting 20% down, right? Your payments, let's say 3682. So many people are concerned that if the value comes in less, meaning that we appraise the home and the home, let's say, only comes in at 550,000, that you're not going to be able to make up that additional 25,000, because it's true in lending, we can only lend on the lower of a purchase price or appraised value, but that's not the case. I want to show you here that you don't need to be scared about that. And the reason why is that there's some protections in place. If you were putting 20% down, well, we can just shift how we're using your funds. What does that mean? Well, if the value were to come in at 550,000 and you still wanted to purchase that home at 575 in order to get your offer accepted or to continue to purchase the home, look at your payment difference. It's not as big as you think. So it's not going to affect your payment. Your out of pocket's still going to be pretty much the same, but your payment just goes up a little bit. So there's different things that we have in place and different creative ways that we can structure your financing that it's really not going to make that big of a deal. But then you ask, you say, Kristen, but I don't want to pay more for a home. Totally get that. But again, just like I said, when interest rates come down, values go up. So what does that mean? If you say, you know what, I'm not going to buy this home because I don't want to pay $25,000 over, then you ought to look at all the different information to see if that's the right choice. And what I mean by that is based on the appreciation in the area that you're looking to buy, which we're looking at Roseville here, if you were to put in an offer $25,000 over what the home was worth, what it was valued at, it would only take you 4 months to make back the cost. Why? Well, because of appreciation. So in 6.4 months, that home would be worth what you were putting in over asking. So depending on where the appreciation is for the home in the area that you're looking, that means that if you were to say, no, I'm not going to buy this home, I'm going to wait, and it took you 6.4 months to find another home, guess what? You just paid the same for this home because of how much that home went up, not to mention how much you just wasted in rent for the 6 months. So you've got to keep in perspective what that means, because we also have to take into account the appreciation that you could be losing by waiting. So we always want to look at the break-even point. When we go into this market where interest rates are coming down, this is going to be huge. So you want to make sure that you're working with a team that can show you all the data and numbers to make an educated decision, and you don't end up losing more money over time. So make sure to keep that in mind as you move forward and looking at the different options. Does it make sense for me to pay more for this home than what the current value is of the home based on the trajectory of where it's going? So you may say, hey, Kristen, why would I pay more for this home than what it's valued at? Great question. If we're going in a market where prices are going up, because again, inflation comes down, rates go up, more buyers, inventory is low. That means it's driving the prices up, which is where we were. If you remember during COVID, when rates dropped, it was ridiculous. The amount of, buyer risk there was because of the market was huge, because it was a lot of buyers that were looking at properties. So what we have to look at is beyond that, meaning that if you're wanting to put in an offer on a home, or you put in an offer and the appraisal comes in lower, we need to look at, well, how long is it going to take for me to recover that cost? Meaning, if the value of the home is 550, but I pay 575 and I'm paying an extra 25,000, it will take 6.4 months in this scenario to make back the cost, meaning based on the appreciation levels that is anticipated for this market, it will take 6.4 months before that home gets to appreciating back over what the value is. So you got to look at the factors, because if you're paying rent, you're also paying a cost for the next 6 months that you also have to put into the equation. So as we go into this market where prices are going to go up, and you may have to put in offers or pay more for a home than what it's worth if there's multiple buyers, which is the reality of the market that we're going into, we need to look at what makes sense. Because if you were to say, no, I'm not going to buy this home and pay more than the value of it, and you wait 6 months, you're back to square one, where you could have already been in this home. You could have already gained the appreciation. as to what you were paying for the home, not to mention saving on the rent that you would have been paying and the other factors associated with potential tax benefits. So you want to make sure you're making an educated decision. You're working with the team that can do this for you to make sure that you're getting the best options based on the market that we're in.